I'll give you more details on that when we get closer. But I'm kind of excited. And I'm looking forward to getting back onto Twitter tomorrow night, with, after midnight and Lent ends. And I will be reconnecting Becky. For a lot of people were worried about something happening here. I got this, canceled or pushed off. But I had to stick it away for Lent. I don't know that I'm going to tweet as often as I used to. But I'm not tweeting. Not being engaged in social media is much, not a bad thing. But I am addicted to open lines, so let's get back to those coming up next on Coast to Coast AM. This is Ian Punnett. I know you're going to want them after hearing this. This is an amazing story. We've got Stephen and Malachi Gregory in Nelson, New Zealand. Now, I understand that Malachi, who is almost 9 years old now, was suffering with not just one or two warts, but a significant outbreak of warts all over his body. So significant it impacted his ability to really function. Yeah, he was having trouble even holding the kids for the rider. That's how it's look actually that they got me thinking about it. I'm not surprised. It is an amazing immunomodulator, and so I could see that it would work. And so at what point did you see that there was actually improvement really going to work? Well, if you really start to measure it around 12 weeks, you can see these things actually getting smaller and smaller and going down to with this little red mark. The whole thing's gone. And we're talking about one the size of water. I thought, no way that, wow, that's been miraculous. Then get into a serious dude. Yeah. How wonderful. It's great to see what happened. Yeah. Absolutely wonderful. I came to the center. I was blown away. This is awesome. Yeah, this is awesome. Another amazing story. Why? We're talking about carnivora. Call them to awaken your immune system and protect yourself now. Call 1-866-836-8735. That's 1-866-836-8735. Or visit carnivora.com. CARNIVORA. Carnivora.com. Execution for 11 p.m. But he's trying to convince us he's gone insane. Therefore, incapable of being expressed. Edward? Edward. And this is Well, I'm just going to start from the top of the screen and work down. So that's John in Wisconsin, first up on Open Line on Coast to Coast AM. John? Ian, I so appreciate you on the show. The fabulous educator speaks so well on so many topics, so thank you for that. And I have a cultural question for you. Specifically for Chicago, but also New York City and Los Angeles. And I'll give you a brief connection I have to Chicago and get your opinion, please. Yeah. My mother grew up in suburban Chicago in a suburb called Park Ridge, and we grew up. I know Park Ridge. My sister-in-law used to live in Park Ridge. Ron Santo lived in Park Ridge. Yes. Well, I'm 66. I grew up in Wisconsin in the 1960s, 1970s. My parents had to go get my grandparents in Park Ridge on 6th Saturday. Fast forward to when I graduated from college in 1982, I had a degree in hotel management. My first management job was on the Magnificent Mile on Michigan Avenue in Ohio at a huge hotel. There's the one, the Marriott? No, sir. No, it was fabulous. I mean, I was just really a TRUMAN manager, but just exposed to so much great culture. You walk down Michigan Avenue to the beach. It was just fabulous. Well, I've been living in northern Wisconsin for the last 10 years, and I feel like I get punched in the stomach. So all those questions hearing out of Chicago and all that things. My question to you is about getting political. Can you pinpoint what is going on? Is it generational? Is it political? Is it a lack of faith? I mean, I feel so sad. It's my favorite city in the whole country. It's just nothing but bad news. Well, there's truth to that. Both of my sons live in Chicago, so we keep an eye eye on it as well for their safety. I think that they're, like a lot of cities, it's going through a really bad cycle. I don't think it's permanent. I don't think we've gotten to the point where it's, the Warriors or Escape from New York or anything like that. I do think, however, that crime is in general across the country has become a lot more random, and that people are part of a take culture where they do have something and they're just going to take it. How to fix that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I understand all the roots are, and I know that a lot of it does go back to anger, and certainly class envy may be part of it. I do know that whereas Chicago is getting this reputation of being the murder capital of the world and all that, statistically that's not true. And I don't think the new mayor, I don't know much about Brandon Johnson, but I don't think he's going to be a change agent for that. So I think it is going to come down to really neighborhood by neighborhood leadership to get that under control, not something that can happen from the top down. But it's badly in need of it, because if they don't fix it, they're going to find that many corporations will continue to pull out because they won't be able to attract the kind of talent that they want to a company. And then that means that some of these communities won't be able to sell houses or all of the other, infrastructure things that go along with home ownership in these communities. And so those communities will suffer and will get worse. But I don't think Chicago is in quite the death spiral yet that it has been touted. I was just there. I go there every 3 or 4 weeks or so. It has some bad times, and it needs a lot of work, but it's not on life support yet. Does that help? If there's one last comment, I'll let you go comment. Yeah, I have a solution. Yes, right. Ian Humming for the next mayoral election. Look, you know what you want for the next? You want my oldest son to be the next mayor. So, he studies sustainability. He's an econ guy. He's looking for, blockchain. He's doing all of these new ways of doing an economy. And I think that may be part of it, is that you have to make the adjustment into what a new economy looks like. And if they can do that, then they'll be attracting the new business and bringing people back. But that's good. I've always wanted to be a small town mayor. I've always wanted to run for a mayor like Mayberry. I would have been great. That's what I want. I don't need any real power. I like to walk down the street with people and say hi and know them by name. I'm sure they'll do that. Being leaders does his favorite. They help me keep up the good work. You're kind. I appreciate that. Thanks for the call. So we'll go international line. Chris is in Calgary, Alberta, on Coast to Coast. Chris? Hi, Ian. Hey. Big fan of yours. Always tune in when you're on. I just wanted to talk to you about, and bear with me, I've never told a talk show before, and I'm nervous. This is why we have open lines, my man. This is your night. This is your moment. But what you said about when you lost your dog, and you didn't want to adopt another one, I've heard people say that before, and it seems the opposite would be the best thing, is to find an older dog or take one in and give it a home for the last few years, and it helps with the breeding process. And you're doing it at good terms. So there's people, if they're grieving an animal, think about that, and look at the shelters and. I agree 100%. And I have, on occasion, gone to rescue websites and seen some of the senior dogs that leave a home. And that it's momentarily tempting, but I'm really not there yet emotionally. Now, meanwhile, on the other side of my couch, my wife always tells me that the moment he died, I would get remarried. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't. And she said, oh, you would. So first of all, you like being married. And second of all, you know, that you just right away, you know, the people be coming about with casseroles or whatever. That you wouldn't be single like 3 months. And I had to think about that. I don't think that's true. I think the grieving process, especially for my wife, who I love dearly, it would last a much longer time. But I wonder what would take longer, getting remarried or getting another dog. Right now, I think I can see her point on getting remarried faster than I can see getting another dog. And I don't know what that says about me, but it's embarrassing. I think. Like it's not correlate. But I'm with you on the senior dogs, because there's plenty of them out there, and they all need a home to take a trip. We'll go wildcard line. Les is in Tucson on coast to coast. Hey, Les. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing so well. Where are you going to take me? Great. Hey, listen, I just had a Gilbert O'Sullivan story for you. Crazy. Gilbert came to Tucson, and while Gilbert was here, he taught me a very valuable lesson. I've been a musician, I don't know, 50 plus years. I'm a drummer. I play big band. Yeah. And one thing he taught me is that you never have an opening act that's better than you. Yeah. He had power opening for him. Oh my God. Years old. Okay. Right. And so, so at any rate, he taught me a very valuable lesson. I just wanted to share that. No, well, that's the thing about Power, because so often Power would tour with a group and then back that headliner up when the headliner came on the stage. That worked beautifully. I always loved that. But yeah, if they were doing their power thing, and then here comes Mr. Acoustic, Sullivan afterwards, that would be awkward. Yeah, it was a real thing, because all these people actually got up and blast in the middle of the press and everything. And it's like, oh man. Yeah. You know that story about the Tammy show with James Brown and Mick Jagger? No, I don't. No. Okay. So it's actually they included it in the biopic of James Brown's life. But so yeah, in that very famous sequence, the Stones were going to come in there. We're going to play the Tammy show, and James Brown felt very strongly that Mick Jagger had been ripping off his moves right on stage. Right. So he did the killer set of all time, of every single move that James Brown does so well, and the Stones were following him, and he walked past Jagger, and I've heard various versions of what he said. Some of them are more or less obscene, but as he walks past Mick Jagger, it's to the effect of saying, "Top that," and like, straight out on the stage. So, yeah, I think Brown was a pretty incredible performer for you. I had a very good time to get sound for him. Oh, really? And he was on the road, and we used to have this thing that, he was such a musician, he was just top notch, and right. So at any rate, he would turn around and point at them. And if he ever did that, he owed him $50 because he screwed up. Right. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, like a lot of people. Ray Charles did that too. He loved to find people who didn't get, exactly. Yeah. You go to the standards. Well, I enjoyed that conversation. Thank you so much, Les. I'm glad to see, I was looking at the U.S. drought map, and almost all of Arizona is out of drought. In a severe sense. And I hope it stays that way, because it was hurting for a long time when I lived there. Sean is on the wildcard line in Washington State on Coast to Coast. Sean? Hi. How you doing? Hey, thanks. Where are you going to take it? All right, man. It's kind of funny because you were just talking about with the headliner, you could never be a better opener, 278, and Steve Miller was the headliner. And it was his last show because Heart opened for, oh, wow. Oh, my God, dude. They blew the whole stadium away. Yeah. It was so comparison. And he played his last show. that was that day because it was so bad. It was the end of when we toured live. That was it. That's interesting. He was, Steve Miller was defined as a live artist for a long time. And I know, right? And I mean, he makes a comeback but that period of part, the Dreamboat Annie era, when they were really rocking, that was the difference. And Nancy Wilson might as well have been Jimmy Page. And that was before they started doing all that, again, and Chuck Thompson, our guest from First Part, might not appreciate this, but that was before they started doing all that soft rock crap that Hart did for the last 5 years of their career. That isn't sort of that was, but I loved it in those early days, and I could see them blowing Steve Miller off the stage. Oh my God, yes, they did. They blew him off the stage. That was so amazing. And I love every time you're on, I'm your biggest fan. I do like the teachers. I do the teachers set definitely. Okay. In fact, well, you're going to say that. I don't have any of those, so it'll be a first. So I appreciate that. Let me bring to Doug, who's on the first time calling line using St. Louis on Coast to Coast. Doug? Oh, Doug Scott. Marcy, west of the Rockies in San Diego.
Hi.
Hi, Marcy.
When I was 20 years old and I was living with my parents, there was an article in the big newspaper. Again, it said that he was going to retire in 8 months and he's going to make a big announcement that he has found something or located something that you'll never get cavities and your teeth, your gums will so nice and healthy and tight. And he's going to announce it in 8 months when he retires. Well, I had a job and my boyfriend wanted to eat out every night. I sold him the paper. So I made an appointment for a cleaning and I went down. And he said, you know what, I'm getting desperate. I don't know if it's coming from the dental industry or big pharma, but he said, I'm going to retire and not feel worried. And I thought I'd never find it in when I was wrong. I want everybody to get a pen. So all these years later, I'm close to 80. All my teeth are clowns. And so my lady friend in California, we have a service. It's called Gifts and Angels, where people, if you have the money, you can hire somebody to come in and sing to you like your son or daughter. And like I did my mom. And she told me, this 92-year-old man has one dental filling in his head, and he has a secret. I said, well, what is it? And she said, when he was a young man, a friend told him about something that it looks like water and it tastes like water, but it's not water. So he started brushing his teeth in it. His friend said that it will eliminate all your problems. So he probably already had the one filling.
Okay.
And I said, well, where do you get this stuff? Because my dentist had told me, you think you got it made, so you got a mouthful of crowns, well, you don't. I'm seeing cavities down at the bottom.
Right.
Or I have to, and get a fluoride coated toothpaste. I was already using it fluoride toothpaste. And she says, all those crowns will have to be removed. And remove it now.
But what was the thing? I mean, you got to help me with that. What was the thing?
It's called colloidal silver.
Oh, I know about this whole thing. And they were saying colloidal silver prevented tooth decay?
Yeah. Well, this old man said he did it since he was a young man. So, anyway, so my dentist told me that and really got me upset. And at the same time, when I had no problems, my doctor said, because of your age and your blood pressure, I want you to start taking your baby aspirin. So then my gums started bleeding, and it would not stop. And I was already using a water kit, and it would not stop. So when I got this information, the bleeding stopped.
Okay, well, I know you're at the top of the hour. I'm sorry we're going to have to be very careful with time here, but so I want to stick with the colloidal silver, because this is a subject that's come up a lot on Coast to Coast over the years. And the problem with colloidal silver, if I remember, was the side effects. Right? Remember when it was being sold as being this sort of miracle drug, but it could help some things and make you look like a smurf. And that was the problem with colloidal silver. It could turn your skin blue. And the idea of like different people's bodies absorb it differently or expel it differently or something, I can't remember. But yeah, I do remember that whole thing. I never heard before about the teeth, but alright. Thanks for that. Just go. We'll get into the next hour. Open lines on Coast to Coast AM. This is Ian Punnett. You locked your cat up the tree? Yeah, he's way up there and scared to come down. Hang on, I'll get him for you. Be careful, mister. Thanks, kid. Here you go. Where did he come from? And where is he now? In case. What? Oh, no, your mom and dad called us to clean out his shower drain. What? They were up a tree too. Really? Your drain was really clogged, backing up, and we have to stop that nasty stuff from invading your bathroom. So you're a hero? Try to be every day. We're rooter heroes. Wow. We make sure you live in a safe, clean house. Go on. Thanks for listening, George. It's what a hero does. If you know how to plug in, call Reader Hero coming in and go online at ReaderHero.com. I'm anxious to say it. In this week's Marketers Report, Patricia Sayaletta, Global Chief Marketing Officer, Direct to Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on the difficult task of building and retaining consumer trust. Trust is a really hard thing to build and a really easy thing to destroy, and we have to be very respectful about that. Our partnership with iHeart has really helped us build that trust and that relationship with the on-air talent. The best thing for us to do is to build a relationship with our consumers. And if those consumers have a relationship with the DJs that are on air, then we want to build on that. The House of the Dragon, which is one of our most successful, if not the most successful campaign we've ever done for show, audio is a core part of that. It's the #1 audio company. iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all. Every audience, live conversation, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company. iHeartMedia is your access company. Go to iHeartResults.com for more. And celebrate your future. Here's a partial list of things that come out of it. Spiders, scorpions, aliens, and other research on the future from KFI. You know what? Los Angeles, Orange County, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. A journalist in the hot seat, I'm Tammy Trujillo from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The journalist at the center of the ongoing controversy involving the release of names and photos of thousands of LAPD officers who are speaking out. North LA reporter Ben Camacho was sued by the city earlier in the week. And they got to find a way to fix it, and the way is not by asking me specifically for the below back. Camacho got the info after he filed a public records request for the LAPD's employee roster and officer ID photos last fall. The city first said no, then turned over the information after Camacho successfully sued. The LAPD says the names and photos of more than 300 undercover officers were inadvertently released online. Officials in San Robert County ready to deal with the weekend spring break activities. The weekend known as Belltopia draws large crowds of 3,000 people sometimes. It's usually marked by public drunkenness, vandalism, and other problems. Beaches in Isla Vista are closed through Sunday to protect public health and safety. California public schools are not rebounding to pre-COVID enrollment just yet, but the numbers are stabilizing. Jason DeKay explains. The California Department of Education just released a study from a point-in-time census day. The head count comes from October 5th, 2022. In San Diego County Public Schools, enrollment fell by about 1% compared to last year. That's 4,300 kids. That's on par with the state, which also lost about 1%, or 40,000 students overall. In LA, the CDE noticed an anomaly. A group labeled not reported has a 117% increase. The state's largest school district says it's working on a fix to better report the numbers. I'm Miss Independent. Who could
film is bringing Star Wars back to theaters for the first time since 2019. Stacey Ridley will return to the franchise for a movie featuring her character Rey that will take place 15 years after the events of the Rise of Skywalker. James Mangold will direct the film called Dawn of the Jedi and center on the first Jedi to master the Force. Southside weather from KFI, mostly sunny today. We'll have highs in the 60s at the beaches, mid 70s in LA and Metro Orange County, as well as in the Inland Empire and the Valley. Right now, Fullerton at 58, Anaheim 56, Long Beach 55, 53 for the Northridge. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
In Diamond Bar, there is a work zone 57 southbound from the 16th to Pathfinder Road. Two right lanes today. You can check out for road work until 5. And in Moore Park, this is on the 118 eastbound, right before New Los Angeles Avenue. We have a stall car taking up the left lane there. You're seeing delays at the road. In Chino, this is on the 16 westbound at Gary Avenue. We have 3 on crews from an earlier crash blocking the off-ramp. Watch for slower than that stretch. KFI, the guy helps get you there faster, a Brian Van. I've been a small business person my entire adult life, and over the years, several HR issues I got nailed. I could never afford an HR person. But there's an answer, Sandy.com. And with Sandy, you get an HR person starting at just $99 per month. And I thought this was too good to be true. This is real. Sandy helps you deal with your HR problems, like writing HR policies, sexual harassment training, hostile work environment, terminations. That was my problem. People complaining about other employees, all putting you and your business at risk. With Sandy, you get access to your own dedicated HR manager available by phone, email, real-time chat. Go to Sandy.com, type in KFI under the radio drop-down when you sign up. Sandy.com, that's KFI under the radio drop-down. I want the credit, please. Spell Sam, E-E-E, that's Sam, E-E-E, that's Sandy.com. Always find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so many bottles to choose from at the lowest price for over 30 years. It's easy to find your favorite Cabernet or a new single barrel bourbon to try. Total Wine and More. Sure, it's not sold as a tea and will still out as quick as possible. Before you want. Dialect, this transmission fluid.
Seriously? You're just flexible.
We all know how easy it can be to go to the wrong place for car repair. I can't believe it. The engine light is on again. So don't risk it. Take your car to the experts at MCO. Double A, MCO. Check engine light on? We'll check it for free. Restrictions, limitations, and exclusions may apply. See MCO.com for complete details. He said, hey, you work at KFI? I said, yeah. And she said, my boyfriend works for you all the time. I said, oh, that's cool. What's his name? She goes, it's my ex-boyfriend. Yeah. Whenever we got in the car at night, he wanted to listen to you, and I wanted to talk, and I got pissed. Whoa! I broke him out. Freaking cuddling to yourself. Now that you're single, when you want to live 4 to 7 p.m. on KFI, and on demand anytime on the IR radio app. The people in prison committed the crime, period. And that's all that matters. Their color, their ethnicity doesn't matter. They committed the crime. And gangs are in the business of crime. Done again, they don't do anything else but commit crimes all day. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI. And on demand anytime on the IR radio app. 90 today? I'm perpetually in an education. I'm not supposed to be on this planet. It's a terrible mistake. If I didn't know I didn't mean it. I know I'm the victim of some massive practical joke, and I'm just waiting for the payoff. John and Ken are waiting for me to block. Live 1 to 4 p.m. on KFI and on demand anytime on the IR radio app. KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk. I want a girl with some eyes like a diamond. I want a girl who knows what's best. I want a girl with shoes that are and eyes that burn like cigarettes. I want a girl with the right allocation, blue top and thorough and soft as a cat. She's playing with her jewelry, putting up her hair, doing the facility and picking up her leg. I want a girl with a strip skirt and a long jacket. I want a girl who gets up early. I want a girl who stays up late. I want a girl with clear rugged prosperity, who lives in the city, successful red state, with clean nails that feel like justice, and a voice that is God like clear clouds, needle fast, arrow, and traffic the south, restoring facility, and bring on land. I want a girl with the short skirt and a to talk to Keaton Products, call the wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk toll-free from east of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies, toll-free, call 800-618-8255. This is Coast to Coast AM with Keaton Products. Love cake. What a great band. And I love that line, fingernails that shine like justice. It's just one of my favorites. Heading into this last hour of open lines on Coast to Coast, and then tomorrow night, first hour, our old friends, Steve, Coasties, the South Show. They've got a new song, they're going to debut it, we're going to be a part of it, play it, it's coming up tomorrow night on Coast to Coast. And then, the best of the show for me in a way, since this is such a topic I've been interested in for so long, is the life of physical pain that JFK endured. Before he was assassinated, he was kind of a medical anomaly. And one of the leading experts of pain in the United States. We'll take a look at his entire jacket, if you will. And we'll discuss the pain that JFK experienced in his lifetime and all the different ways that long before he was and then I got to ask him about the LSD part too, just to see what he knows about that. But that'll be tomorrow night on Coast to Coast. I love this show tonight. It's open lines. Where are you going to take the show next? Coast to Coast AM. This is Ian Connor. Consumer Cellular is the most trusted wireless brand, and they've been providing superior nationwide coverage for more than 25 years. Switch today and save up to half on your wireless bill. They offer unlimited talk and text with flexible data plans starting at just $20 a month. Their award-winning customer service team makes switching easy. You keep your phone and number, and activation is free. Plus, you can add a family member to your plan for just $15 a month per line. Never worry about dropped calls, because Consumer Cellular has the exact same coverage as the major carriers, with coverage to over 99% of the nation. This is all backed by their 100% risk-free guarantee. Also, with Consumer Cellular, you can save up to $250 a year. Go to consumercellular.com/Nori, and for a limited time, get $25 off your wireless bill with the use promo code NORI. That's consumercellular.com/Nori, and use promo code NORI for $25 off. When banks fail, when bonds are devalued, and the stock market is in turmoil, you'll be glad you own gold, and now you can own gold in a retirement account. That's right. First Gold will help you convert an old IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. Just text the word COAST to 989898 and get a free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just valuable insight. Protect your savings with gold from First Gold. Text COAST to 989898. Execution for 11 females, but he's trying to convince us he's gone insane, therefore incapable of being a kid. Edward, son of Edward, I'm a Open lines means you get to drive this show for, well, at least till the end of the hour on Coast to Coast AM. And we start where we left off, top of the page with Bob in San Antonio on Coast to Coast. Bob? Hello, Ian. I'm really looking forward to the JFK show. I am too. Yeah. His assassination, November 22nd, 63 was my 6th birthday. Huh. And I feel like a lot of us that loved him have carried some of that pain since then. But, being on hold, waiting for Coast to Coast, kind of like the salt thing was good in some of the parts. Sparkling diamond, there's so many factors by the time you get on, you can see it, but language is, I'm a listener. Since my godmother gave me a little 3x5 transistor radio with the pull-out antenna, when I was 5 years old, so I love listening and people that can use the English language in a surgical kind of way. It's just very satisfying. It's I don't know if you're what you call a didactic memory or not, but the amount of music trivia and history and all the interwoven stuff with, cultural stuff is fascinating to listen to, and I gotta get stuff Thompson's book, but the dog story. Yeah, dog story. I love dogs. Right, and it wasn't so long ago, a couple generations back, and part of everybody's normal existence was slaughtering and feeding their own animals. Yeah. They used to make fun of young guys for having affection for pets. They're not supposed to get attacked. That's right. You might have to raise them yourself. Right, but anyway, fast forward to now, and we just love our dogs, and, pet insurance. And I sometimes over my pet food on a parking lot to feed stray dogs. So the next night, I come into the same store, and there's been a lot of empty space in the aisles, since the COVID thing and all that. And I go to this place where I pick up a certain food, and in the back of the shelf, there's a dog shirt. Oh, God. So I don't know if it was the dog that I saw, but I took a picture of it. Yeah. I went to the store manager and told him about it. I haven't tried to embarrass the store or anything, but it was the real thing. That's the real thing. And that's exactly what can happen because dogs are animals. Love them, but they can't stop from being an animal anymore in a store than they could on a lawn. And we think we've got them well trained, but they're still going to have quote-unquote accidents. And yeah, I'm with you 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I really, Yorkies are real, their design dogs is expensive, right? But so other dogs like that, they get stolen. And I was living next to a track dealer for a while, and this little Yorkie was down to 1.8 pounds. Oh no! So I was into my truck, and so you got him, and then that dog, he got up to 10 pounds. And so you're great, he got stolen from us. Yeah. So, but rescue dogs are great. Yeah, I'm looking at a good thank you for that. And yeah, even you can get purebred rescue dogs. For people that want you to do both, because a lot of hound dogs come from kennels, or they come from dealers and breeders, and that's not uncommon to get that. You have to be a little more patient if you're willing to drive far enough to get them. That's pretty nice. And I'll take a minute. Look in. So I'm not going to link it up on Coast to Coast, but if you want to, I have a student who's actually one of my employees who helps me run the college radio station, which was recently voted best college radio station in the nation, checking out, Wildcat 91.9. And Dawson's dog, Uni, UNI, I guess for university, but Uni has developed this really rare problem where he can't walk. And it's a joint thing. I don't know what more about it, but we started a GoFundMe page where we're helping to chip in. If you are inclined to help out a young couple, Dawson and his betrothed have this, dog with this sort of sort of teaching them to be parents. We call them Uni and Newtown. And when we get to the park, there's big stories. And it kind of breaks our heart to see what he's going through. They need $5,000 to fix the problem. And so if you are inclined, if you want to help, then you go to GoFundMe. You can just go to afford doing surgery to help him walk. You and I, and Dr. Wagner is the fundraiser. You can make it to Dr. On your taxes, you can make a donation right there. Cool. And that's legit if you don't have any page, and I'm endorsing it. We're all chipping in to kind of help this young couple afford the surgery that they need to keep this dog running around and being enjoyed every day. So there you go. It's my plug for Uni. And remember the night when I said that I got punched in the face by a dog on the air? I bent down for love on Uni, and just as Uni jumped up and gave me a black eye. I had a black eye for about a week. So he's just a puppy, and he just everybody. But that's just the next thing. And if you want to help him out, they can use the donation. GoFundMe, Uni, UNI. All right, so let's get back to open line show on Coast to Coast AM, and we've got lots of people hanging out. We'll get to them all before the top of the hour. Nacho is in Missouri on Coast to Coast. Nacho? Hi, how you doing, Ian? Great show you got tonight, and just let you know I'm a first-time caller and a long-time listener. Glad to have you, bud. Thank you. I drive rig over the road, and I'll be honest with you, I'm very embarrassed because I'm coming up on my delivery spot right now. But I just wanted to, before I go, I just wanted to see if you wouldn't mind slipping in Al Stewart. Speaking of soft rock. Oh, really? What song? Al, Year of the Cat. Okay. So I consider Year of the Cat. I happen to do, there's one Al Stewart, so I didn't I wasn't crazy about time passages, but I love that. Was it On the Border from Al Stewart? That's a great song. I've never tired of that song. It's a great tune. Yeah. And what made me think about it was I had a couple of favorite artists, and when you mentioned earlier in the program, Stephen Bishop, he's a nice favorite. Yeah. Then I thought about, Al Stewart for years of that. But, yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I'm booked for this weekend, but I will remember getting on an Al Stewart thing, and again, great show, and appreciate you taking my call. Okay. Well, thanks. I'm glad you're getting your delivery in. That means your night's going to be over coming up, isn't it? I wish. Oh, really? You have to turn around with a new load, or what? Yeah, I'm this load attaching to a preloaded and then heading down to Dallas, Texas. Okay. Well, make sure you get some sleep somewhere along the way. And thanks. Be safe out there, Nacho. I don't know if you've been following the story, by the way, but Missouri has become the new tornado rally up through Texas, Missouri, Arkansas. Now that there's no longer, we just don't get the tornadoes that we used to get because of the shifting weather patterns. Missouri's the one that's always, we saw what happened in Mississippi. I mean, these are states that are in the crosshairs of these super powerful new tornadoes, and they're coming earlier in the season and harder, it would seem. Alice is on a wild side line in Manchester, Tennessee. I've been there on Coast to Coast AM. Hey, Alice. Hello, great show. I love listening to you and all the people calling. I want to speak about after my husband died from a fatal heart attack. Two girls, I was in grieving. Okay, two girls came at the back of the house where the kitchen window is where I was standing, and I thought it was very strange, but it was a very comfort for me. And the two girls flew up, and one stayed on the ground, and one girl flew on the back door of the roof and looked back at me, the kitchen window, and for over about a minute or so, and I couldn't
I tell you, what, it was a strange moment. But I thank God for the, I thought it was a, I thought it was a message from God.
Yeah.
And all is well.
And there will be peace.
Yes, there was peace, yes. There was great comfort. So I thought that was very strange.
I did it, and I actually did it the night before this is, good old Southern tradition on this, but the night before my mother-in-law died, my wife and I pulled into a parking space. We were just going to go grab a bite. She was in hospice, and we just left this building, briefly the building, and we pulled into a parking space, and there was, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in broad daylight, there was a big owl staring back at us, and that's the omen that death is about to occur. And so we went in, we had a quick bite, and we got back, and we couldn't stop thinking about that owl. I didn't even take a picture of it, and she was gone in just a few hours.
Yeah, message is that we don't, it's kind of difficult to comprehend. And I just love the show tonight, and I appreciate all your info. And I want to quickly say about my Doberman mix. I had a Doberman mix dog, my best friend's dog I could talk with, and the dog, female dog, would never steal all this information, confidentiality. That my dog was poisoned with tuna fish and antifreeze.
Oh no! Who did it?
And, a neighbor that didn't like cats or dogs or any kind of animal sitting on his patio furniture. But he placed it out for the cats, but my dog died. He must have had it out in the open or something. I turned my dog out to run one night, and that was the end of my dog, and I haven't had a dog since.
I'm so sorry, but that's awful, and I'm with you in that space right now, and that may be me someday, but I'm glad you shared that, appreciate that, and I too went through a poisoning, this is now 15 years ago with the Chinese pet food poisoning, when they were poisoning, there was a factory, and somebody had poisoned pet food that was heading to the United States, poisoning it on purpose, and put in treats that, and we had the batch number, we had the whole bit, and we lost the dog because of it. Now the dog didn't have that much, but he was already elderly, and he just declined. It took a long time for him to decide, but eventually he did. He was one of the dogs I wrote about. I did these children's books about dogs, and that was Gizzy the Mutt with the propeller butt. That reminds me, though, too, there's a couple of really fascinating stories out there about colloidal silver. A caller before the top of the hour was talking about it, touting it, and I had to go look it up because it's been so long since anybody brought up that. And I do think it's important for me to say this from the Institute of Health, that colloidal silver is it's promoted as a dietary supplement. It has such serious side effects, and it has no provable benefit that the government just wants to make it very clear. There's no known function or benefit in the body when taken by mouth. They do still use some colloidal silver products for certain things, but it has no nutritional, essential mineral, or any useful dietary supplement. So sometimes, even though people use it as homeopathic remedies, they're saying this should not be used. You should look into it before you ever do that. And I'm not sure about the story of the dentist and why this is colloidal silver was going to end all duplicate or whatever, but no proof of that. So I just want to be able to say that responsibly, and I just think you need to look that up and verify it before you would ever do something like that yourself. Ron is in Taos, New Mexico, on Coast to Coast. Ron?
Hello, Ian. It's an honor to speak to you tonight.
You're kind.
Yeah, I have two quick things. You mentioned the Rolling Stones, and that got my motor running.
Yeah.
I'm just maybe the Stones claims to pulled out. I didn't know from day one. I've had letters in Newsweek magazine, when it was a magazine.
Right.
Rolling Stone, my college newspaper. By the way, I went to Physical Stadium. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you had a great year.
Oh, yeah, that was really something. But anyway, back to Stones, it would be hard to conceive of a more loyal and long-lived fan that I've been.
Right.
The reason I'm mentioning that is because they're coming out with a new album again.
I heard about that.
Yes.
I heard about this.
Yeah, McCartney played for one track. Ron Wood said there's 17 songs. It's their first album in 17 years. Mick Jagger said, and I quote, "This album can't be just good. It has to be great." And you know what? It has to be great. Why put out an album this late in the game unless it's going to be good?
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want to live for all of the good work that you've done. You don't want to end on a down note. And they've had good albums, really solid albums. So, yeah, I'm with you. Now, real quickly, can you tell me who's in the group now? Who's in the group?
The drummer's name is, he's a black person. His name is Steve Jordan.
Steve Jordan.
He's with the Spencer Winos.
Sure. Yeah, Steve Jordan used to be the drummer. Steve Jordan used to be the drummer on the David Letterman. Back in the first. He's been around a long time. Yeah, he's a very cool guy. But no Bill Wyman, I'm assuming, real quick.
Those are long guys.
I know, but I just want to make sure they didn't bring him back. So Mick, Keith, and Ronnie, well, we're running out of time, but I love that. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll break that. Tomorrow night, the new song from the California in that first hour on Coast to Coast. And we'll get to your open calls next.
A ball like the beach, I'm Tammy Trujillo, from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. If one person was shot during a series of fights overnight involving a few sailors between 500 and 1,000 people across Flower State, Houston, Playa del Rey. A warning about a scam circulating in Ventura County. The DA's office of homeowners are being letters threatening property seizures and asset levies. The DA's office telling people not to call the number on the letters or responding anyway. Finally, lessons being received by two women in Congress' private Christian school in Southward. They say you didn't allow care, Southward circles are coloring the two states at 12th grade school. Students have fed only 2 kids for lunch every day. LA and Orange County as well as in the Inland Empire and the Valley. Right now, Fullerton at 58, Santa Ana 55 degrees, Pasadena has 53, and Northridge has 53. News local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Tammy Trujillo.
No. In our teacher, there's only anyone who's found that pioneer. We have a crash there. It's down blazing on the right shoulder, but you're seeing some looking with the lanes as you approach this area. You know, that's on the 15 westbound at Area Avenue. We have seen a crew from an earlier crash blocking the off-ramp there. Diamond Bar, there is a work zone. This is the southbound from the 50 to Pathfinder Road. Two right lanes are going to be shut down for road work until 8. KFI in the sky. Don't get you there faster. I'm right there. So,
Maybe $3 breakfast deal is your choice of bacon and sausage, all at 6%. Flat. The small seasoned potatoes for just $3. Straight to morning routine and get your $3 breakfast deal today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Women's during breakfast hours.
in this week's marketing report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
I had such a broadcast reach that it's local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com. The last few years have been tough for a lot of us, and at times you may have even felt stuck. But now it's time to take control of your future, and you can start with the California Community College. Financial aid is available year-round to help with tuition, books, supplies, and sometimes even rent. Go after that career you can't stop thinking about. Start at your local college and transfer to a guaranteed safe spot at a four-year university. The possibilities are endless. Take the first step. Enroll today at one of our 116 colleges. Visit iCanGoToCollege.com. Always find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so many bottles to choose from at the lowest price for over 30 years. It's easy to find your favorite Cabernet or a new single barrel bourbon to try. Total Wine and More. It's not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Visual AFI AM 640. Bottom line is you're not that easy. And you're on vacation, you're on vacation. I'm on vacation, no one touches me. Although I had a few interruptions. There isn't a story on the planet that could keep me from having vacation. I don't care if it's World War III. If I'm at the airport, I'm at the airport. They'll handle. I'll catch you 200 million deaths from now and we'll start talking. Live 6 to 9 a.m. on JMI. And on demand anytime on the IR radio app. Forget about civil rights. Forget about vacation people should have the same rights as the rest of it. What do you care? Like the couple next door to you is gay or horrible. They're great wrestlers. Still handle. No, I didn't intimidate because they would. I'll be pathetic on the IR radio app. I wanna be a billionaire. So freaking bad. Buy all of the things I never had. I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. Yeah, I would have been so black paper. I would be the Oprah. I probably put it in the rest without the person in death. Ain't nothing happened. So I wake up and black skin and after that, with the body, it's been a couple months that I've been through going through. You can call me Rabbi, blow my mind, I'm on that. I probably did it with the community, and then for the way I'm on the community. Yeah, I'm forgetting about me, but everywhere I go, I'm on things. Every time I close my eyes, to talk to Ian Hunter, call the wild card line at 818-501-4109. The first time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk toll free from east of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies toll free, call 800-618-8255. This is Coast to Coast AM with Ian Hunter. That's the clean version of Billionaire from Travis McCoy. And it goes back to our first, the first 2 hours we were talking about the status revolution. And it was so enjoyable because Chuck Thompson is a writer on many different subjects. And he also has this doc series that's on Paramount Plus right now, 3 parts on the history of soft rock, which he is fonder of than I am. But that having been said, we had a great conversation about it, and many people have already referenced that when we went into open lines. We just talked about the Rolling Stones. The drummer Steve Jordan, which I had mentioned it. I don't know that everybody knows who he is. He's an African-American drummer who became famous originally on Saturday Night Live. He was the drummer in the SNL band for quite a while. He is the drummer for John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd in the whole Blues Brothers bit. He's on the first album, the Briefcase Full of Blues album with the Blues Brothers. That's Steve Jordan. So this is how far back he goes, right? Then he goes and becomes the drummer for Paul Schaefer and David Letterman on The Late Show. And then he goes on to do, he's on a bunch of different tracks. And he's already played a lot of Stones over the years. But it's cool to see him getting a big shot here coming up, being the permanent replacement then for Charlie Watts, both in the studio and on the road. That might be a certificate worth giving. You think about it, Rolling Stones have had a few farewell tours, and they didn't mean it. And we knew they were kind of Stones. And granted, some members have dropped off from the Stones over the years, and so in a way, it was a farewell tour for, say, like Bill Wyman or something who retired and was with his own class. But for the most part, we kind of, everybody knew that the Rolling Stones were going to come back. It was just, how many Diana Ross farewell tours that there was there. So it's sort of like that. But I think, really, honestly, by age, if nothing else, this may be the farewell tour that's coming up for the Rolling Stones. And it would be a show worth seeing. There we go. That's all I got. We'll get to open lines coming up. Looking forward to that JFK show tomorrow night. Find out more about the shows that are past, the shows that are coming. And make sure that you're a Coast Insider so you can listen at Real on Coast to Coast.com. You'll find out more at coasttocoastam.com. This is the on. Oh, hi, how are you guys? I'm living the dream. I didn't realize my mic was off. How are you guys?
Done in your apartment should never come with strings attached, like being harassed and constantly pressured for sexual favors.
My leaky faucet turned into the maintenance man asking, when are we going to get to know each other better? I needed my air conditioner fixed, but my building manager repeatedly kept coming into my apartment unannounced and without permission. My landlord told me my rent would be free if I gave him something in exchange.
Sexual harassment by anyone associated with your housing isn't just wrong, it's against the law. The Fair Housing Act protects you from harassment, including someone making unlawful sexual advances or refusing to make a favor. If this happens to you, you can stop it by filing a complaint with her.
So I called her and filed a complaint against my building manager. No strings attached.
Fair Housing. The law is on your side. To learn more, visit HUD.gov/fairhousing. That's HUD.gov/fairhousing. If you fear for your safety, call 911. A public service message from HUD. Partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
I've driven a limo for 11 years. But my son glamorous city, tiring with having to physical work. I got everything he said makes sense. Once I eliminated the bad things and started giving my body the right nutrients, I could feel the difference right away. I started speaking through the night. My body didn't hurt all the time, and I was driving again in 3 months. I went from 230 pounds to 170 pounds. My life is completely changed, and I'm so grateful to Dr. Joel Wallace. My name is Sanchez. Visit criticalhealthnews.com. Sign up for the newsletter to receive Dr. Wallace's 10 reference list and other invaluable nutritional advice. Call 855-949-RADIO to speak to an experienced nutritional consultant. That's 855-949-7234 and criticalhealthnews.com.
Best part about open lines is you never know where it's going to go and how many will get in before the top of the hour. So let me refresh my screen and start with Robert in Rochester, New York. And Coast to Coast AM. Robert?
Ian, how you doing, buddy? You're the best co-host ever.
Well, it's only because I spent too many of my summers in Rochester, New York growing up.
Now, I heard this too much for talking about Roseanne Park. So,
Yeah.
Well, my memory. Yeah. You know, the skyline is down in Altoona, Pennsylvania. It's still set up there in a park down there in Altoona.
Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. Well, I feel very fond of Rochester. It was a good place to hang out. Where are you going to take us?
You're the best, buddy.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Daniel's in Dixon, California on a wild card line on Coast to Coast. Daniel? How you doing, Eden? What thing to tell you? The first thing is UFO. When I was living in Lake Hall in 1971, took a drive up Kingsbury in Nevada side of the high Sierras. I was about 7,000 feet up. And the sky was beautiful. It was about 6:30 in the morning, you know. And there was a cloudy sky. But when I looked to my right, there's a cloud all by itself moving along the side of the white clouds around it, you know. And then it stopped. And I a door opened up in the back of it. It was, this was pretty big, but it was covered up with clouds. But the door opened and the chips were inside. Now, after that, I went back down to where I lived, in Lake Powell. Now, the second thing I saw, as far as UFO, that was right here in Dixon. The 17th of March last year, there was a mothership sitting out here about 15 miles east of South California. And at first I thought it looked like a teapot because it had clouds going around way out above, around from the ship itself, And I kept looking at it, and the top didn't have any clouds on it. So I'm looking, what our planes look like at 30,000 feet. They look like gnats, Well, what came out of the universe keeps floating. You probably put 5 to 7 of our planes inside of one out of the universe and keep floating and went into that ship. And that ship, in about 2 or 3 minutes, completely moved off. And it must have close because I couldn't see it no more. So, all the clouds, it made its own clouds. It had like a chevron on the, kind of looking chevron on the bottom of it, and it was dipped down into the 30,000 foot, and it was sucking up clouds on subject. Well, what's remarkable about that is that a lot of people live their entire lives and they don't have any sight of anything, and you have many of them. Why do you think you have more of them? Is it the geography of it? 2 motherships. I've seen the 6 ships that were, that's a very complicated sighting. So, yeah, you saw a lot more than just that. You saw the entire constellation. Well, I'll leave that there and grab Mike in Elgin, Arizona, which also has some beautiful night skies, too, on Coast to Coast AM. Mike?
Yeah, hello, Ian. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing all right. Open lines. Where do you want to go?
Well, I'd like to ask you a few questions here. Dave, about the Civil War, the guy that just called about Tubby Foot. Like, I'm an American historian here, and there's something everybody's kind of missed. I'll give you all a hint here. It's called the Transcontinental Railroad. I don't want an open border. I've lived down here all my life, so you know what I'm saying? But there's a bunch of lives on it. It starts with the Civil War, and I'm really looking forward to this Kennedy deal tomorrow night, okay? Because it's tied into that, too. It's still ongoing.
You ran into on the railroad?
How did that first get, okay? Trust me, 1853, or why they even bought to spend all this money on this little strip of desolation down here. Well, I just looked into it at the end, okay? I'll let you guys do the legwork because y'all know about this. If the history isn't for the Civil War, the slavery is just the coverage to the slavery wasn't even an issue. The setting for it.
No. I live in Kansas. And so we know, if you don't know, if you're a historian, you know that Kansas was a proxy war. The bleeding Kansas was a proxy war leading up to the Civil War. It didn't get started. The issue of slavery was front and center to everything. Because that's why people from Missouri, there was a proposition that said every state should be able to vote to decide whether it's going to be a slave or a free state. And Kansas developed because of people pouring in from different places. And the part of the Kansas City, Kansas where I live, places. And the part of the Kansas City, Kansas where I live, it was all people who were free staters who came from the Northeast. And there were other parts of Kansas that were flooding in from the slave states that wanted to see the state legislature voted the slave bill. So, no, it didn't start at Gettysburg, that issue. That's I don't know. I didn't even heard that before. But the myth of the lost cause, that doesn't start until a year after the Civil War. Up until that point, everybody was proudly saying it was always about slavery, and they're on their own book saying it's about maintaining slavery. So that's what we're going to agree with that as a premise. But tomorrow night could be interesting, and I'd love to see a connection with that idea of the Transcontinental Railroad, though, with war. That part I had never thought about. Okay, look. Internationalized Gerald is in British Columbia on Coast to Coast. Gerald? Hey, how you doing here? Doing all right. What are you going to take it? I want to chat about Philly Council, but I thought I'd mention it first. I wasn't sure if you knew, but Rabbi Robinson, you've got a strong connection with the Mohawk extension north of Toronto. That's where he's yeah, that's where his mom grew up. Grew up, and it's where I think his uncles kind of got him into rock and roll and started playing guitar. Well, that's good to know, and I look forward to every chance I can to get Sitting Bull's grandson back on the air, so I can, if nothing else, just so I can use some Robbie Robertson, because I love the band, and I love his stuff with it. All right, cool. I know your doctor. There's a great dog called, when we were brothers on the band. I thought. Yeah, I've owned that. Okay, great stuff. Yeah. Yeah. And I just watched The Last Waltz about 2 years ago. Ah, nice, nice. Yeah. So yeah, I want to mention, because I thought people were interested, so Philly Council used to live here. So yeah, I want to mention, because I thought people were interested, so Philly Council used to live here in Vancouver. Right? Son Dell played down on Denman Street with an oldies cover band on Sunday night. He used to play bass. But Billy did an interview with, he's kind of a bit of a music media impresario here in Canada, a guy named Terry David Mogan, and he did an interview with Billy back in '94 at the Railway Club here. Runs, just under 10 minutes sort of thing. But he gives a nice kind of background to how he started out. He talked about the hair video and the production on that, and his move into Canada. When he started getting on the town shows a while back, 3-4 interviews ago, I started watching. I don't think I'd ever really seen, because it was before me, the hair video, and I was just so impressed with the music production on it. And in that interview, Billy says that he basically does all the production on the music, and at that young age, I was just like, that's impressive. Very impressive. Yeah. Well, he was obviously one of the formative leaders of the Cowgirls, and it was a tragedy that he died 40 decades ago, and he featured prominently in the recollections of the rest of the main family members in that Cowgirl doc, and I'm sure it'll come up tomorrow night. Calvary is kind of where he spent the rest of his life, right? I mean, he lived in the hell. Well, he think he died there. Well, he went to Edmonton first, and then I think I can't remember if it was, I think it was Vancouver next, and then he formed the Shadows, and then I think it was Calgary after that. Oh, very good. If you go to YouTube and you plug in Billy Council interview and Mulligan, if you can remember, like Mulligan Stew, it's worth checking out. It's really kind of the only sort of kind of document I could find in his own words that way. Oh, I appreciate that, because I'll remember it for Mulligan, because I pretty much lived my life on Mulligan. I was looking for a do-over. I just used that expression the other day. I said, I'll take a Mulligan on that. And everybody looked at me, I'm like, you don't know what a Mulligan is? I don't know where I do without Mulligan. So Chris is in Milwaukee on Coast to Coast. Chris? Hey, you. Hey, how you doing? Always great when you're on. Yeah, thank you. So, hey, yeah, real quick, and a quick comment and a quick question. Comment. So Steve Miller, as a Milwaukee boy, I got to thank him. First of all, he's a fantastic guitarist. But he does a little bit of Waukesha himself, Les Paul, and he still tours. I know the callers that he does it. I did it 4 times when he was in his late 30s. So he's definitely still touring, very active. I'm a fan, so don't get me wrong. But and so yeah, living in the USA remains absolutely one of my favorite songs. So I'm glad to hear that. He's got to be like 80 years old, but I could go see him again in a heartbeat. Yeah, he also plays in great shape, actually. He's playing like wild right now. But, oh, cool. Yeah. And then, good question. Just wondering, are you a fan of the band Ear Chick? No, I don't know them. Check them out. They're fantastic. What did they get? Wild, man. It's hard to even. There's some of the like Americana and country and punk, a little bit of a kind of a punker grunge vibe to them as well. It's very, very solid. Well, I like that state. There's a band called the Dead South in Canada, and they're kind of in that same area too. So it's Deer Kick or Deer Kick? Deer Kick, like the invasive insect. Okay. Deer Kick. Yeah, well, yes, it's Wisconsin, so Deer Kick wouldn't be. Oh yeah, no, they're from Rhode Island actually. Finally? Okay. They're pretty darn good. I got into them when I was in high school, and they're still doing their thing, and I love that. The lead singer is actually married to Vanessa Carlton. Oh, I know her. Right? They're pretty, they're well put. Okay. All right, I'll look for that. That's what I generally do. I make a little note here on things I want to look up afterwards, and right after I get done with this, I go over to my couch and I spend some time on that before I go to bed. So I'll go look him up. Steve is in Valparaiso, Indiana. East Coast, east of the Rockies on Coast to Coast AM. I thought it said Deer Kick. Yeah, I was down with Deer Kick. I was okay with that. I just didn't know what it was. Man, listen to your stuff. It's sit here on the old and that time. Sure, okay, I got a dog that's poison and Yeah, that must be very frustrating. Thank you, though. I appreciate you hanging on. When there's, UFOs everywhere and we got clouds around. Well, I just mean it's frustrating because, like, you probably on hold, you're like, oh, I'd love to comment on that. Yeah. Right away. Exactly. And we're, like, in a conversation where you know, say anything. But, anyway, you're talking about bumper music for City Bowl France on it, right? Yeah. And that night I was thinking, Great White Buffalo, Oh, sure. Oh, my God. I won't give you a pick up the phone tonight and call you, but then the one guy talks about, hey, don't ever have a band that's going to open for you to turn you on, right? And you have something I'm thinking about that, right? And so then, I think it was 75 when his Autonomous album came out, with Stranglehold and all that on it. But he was touring. He was in Hammond Civic Center in Hammond, Indiana. And he was there. And so we went, and he had a guy open for him named Rory Gallagher. Oh, funny Gallagher, yeah. No, Gallagher. Pretty sick. But he came out there. You've ever heard of the guy, right? Comes out there and just blows us all away. And I know, man, how expected it to come out and say, top that? No way, But the guy was great. So a couple years later, I was breaking a guy in for a new guy, And I said, where's something, man? He goes, Hammond. I said, oh, yeah, you still a citizen. And he was good too. And we both looked at each other and said, Rory Gallagher. That was a great show. I told her, and I love that fusion with Hey Baby on it, right? And, that was a great album. I love that album. That was a great album, yeah. But the work I mixed Rabbi Robertson, as a first bumper, I was thinking, go down a big stack. Yep, I'll take that. And that would have fit in great. Well, as they say in Hot Tub Time Machine, which is one of the weirdest comic lines, and they keep whispering it. You're never allowed to know why that's a joke. That's funny. All right, so heading into the company, we're done with open line. This is all I got time for. I let a few people hold it on. I'm sorry about that. Did everything we could. And we were packed for open line. Tomorrow night, then, the real, kind of the secret medical saga of JFK, a life changing. And it's all about his medical files on how he was dealing with suicide on the thing. And then just for fun in that first hour, tells us that to break out a new skin. And whether it's Passover, and doesn't always happen that Passover and Easter weekend happen at the same time. But if it's Passover, or whether it's an Easter celebration, or it's just, spring. I hope you have a wonderful time in the meantime. Enjoy the sunny weather. Day you came up at IBC.
The How to Money podcast helps you live a richer life by teaching you how to handle the money you have in a more thoughtful, purposeful way.
Join host Joel and Matt for personal finance nuggets that actually make a difference in your life.
Well, the number one rule to travel is to let the deal drive the destination. Folly, it might not be on your radar, but if the price was right, it should be. Right. When you take a tactic, it allows you to travel more because you're doing it for so much less money. TRUMAN is ready to install your solar now and complete your paperwork in time for NEM 2. They have teams working around the clock 7 days a week and have processed over 35,000 applications and counting. No one works harder than Semper does with this free decor and honor. Go solar American style. Declare your independence with Semper Solaris, your local and veteran-owned solar contractor who gets the job done right. Imagine no money out of pocket, no payments until 2024. Call 877-211-5591. Worried about blackouts? Tesla and Enphase batteries are in stock. Plus, Semper offers new furnace-to-date systems with a lifetime warranty and new roofs with a 50-year warranty. Don't wait. Get your solar system installed by Semper Solaris before net metering changes and rates go up even more. For all offers, call 877-211-5591 or visit SemperSolaris.com. Protected by Ford Call 113 CSW Directly. Portions of the following program will be recorded. Good morning, my friends. I am Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer. It is just about 6 o'clock on this lovely, gorgeous, beautiful spring Saturday morning, Easter weekend, which means for the next 2 hours I'm here for you as your personal guide to turning your ordinary house into an extraordinary home. It seems fitting. We're talking spring and your interaction on your property with nature all weekend long, and it all gets started in just a couple of minutes. So stay tuned. Welcome home. It's the KFI HTC Los Angeles, live everywhere on the Ice Radio app. With just a few leftovers from other holidays, you can make Easter awesome. So grab a noisemaker, Halloween, chocolate heart, or feel it simple Easter. Best holiday ever. Happy Easter from KFI. KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, right time.
Live everywhere on the Ice Radio app. Every week crash, I'm on Burning Live for KFI 24-hour news. A car driving down Pacific Coast Highway in Pacific Palisades is crashing into a group of people and other cars overlooking the beach, killing one person. The LA Fire Department says it was on the scene at around 12:45 this morning. 6 other people were sent to the hospital in that crash. A woman has been injured after being shot by random gunfire in an apartment complex in West Hollywood. 911 callers told the LA County Sheriff's Department they heard what sounded like gunfire and a woman screaming from inside an apartment on San Monica Boulevard. The deputies arrived on scene yesterday morning.
They found a female white in her 50s, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The victim was transported to a local hospital for medical treatment.
Deputy Brenda Cerna says deputies saw bullet holes in the woman's front door and wall and discovered they came from the apartment across the hall. Cerna says the man inside that apartment did not respond to commands to come out. A SWAT team was brought in by helicopter which landed on La Brea Avenue. The correct was KFI News. And the SWAT team did go into that man's apartment around 5:30 yesterday afternoon, about 8 weeks ago. 2 of the contenders for disgraced LA City Council member Nuri Martinez will meet. Nuri Martinez's seat will meet for a special runoff election in June to fill that seat. Community Relations Manager Nelda Padilla got slightly more than 25% of the vote this week, and City Council aide Marissa Alcaraz got slightly more than 21%. Both have pledged to stay fighting homelessness their top priority. Assemblyman Miguel Santiago says he'll challenge LA City Councilman Kevin De Leon, who was also involved in that same scandal with Nuri Martinez, but refused to step down. Santiago says running against his longtime ally and friend De Leon was a difficult decision. The record rain followed by warm temperatures in LA County is what mosquitoes call home sweet home.
More water means more mosquitoes.
Greater LA County Vector Control District Mary Joy Colburn says mosquitoes only need a cap full of water to breathe.
The mosquito eggs are tiny, and then they see that standing water to lay their eggs, and the life cycle of the mosquitoes can go through them in that small inch of a container.
She says small amounts of water can be found and dumped from plant saucers, toys, even an empty potato chip bag. She says empty swimming pools are one of the biggest breeding grounds, and people who live near one can call and have the county check it out. In LA, Corbin Carce, KFI News. The U.S. Navy has sent a guided missile submarine capable of carrying up to 154 Tomahawk missiles to the Middle East
The Navy rarely acknowledges the location or deployment of submarines, though. A spokesman for the Fifth Fleet based in the Persian Gulf says that the nuclear-powered submarines will help ensure regional maritime security and stability, as Iran increases. And people are poo-pooing pink and purple for Easter.
Consumer Reports is warning consumers about the dangers of eating its popular Easter candy because it contains red dye number 3. It says just born quality, which makes people should stop taking any marshmallow treats since it contains a known carcinogen and other less risky alternatives are readily available. A bill was introduced in California last month that would ban foods with red dye number 3 and other additives. The European Union already bans most of those additives. Red dye number 3 has been banned from cosmetics in the U.S. since 1990, while still being allowed in food. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
Hey, look, now with KFI traffic, we've got a crash on the in Alhambra.
Okay, what's down at the 710, that's actually connected to 710 South. Having a real serious day, but this one will keep you updated on that one. On the 60 west, it's going to be one of Gary Avenue. It might be good to be a little weird at the moment. And it's a crash blocking the off-ramp, this day they fatality collision. And then on East Pioneer Boulevard on T-Jet, that's crash going the right way, so it's the right shoulder. And it's out of Orange County on the 5 South Street La Paz Road and Ocean Parkway, full of vehicles crashed at the right shoulder block. And the vehicle crashed in some sand barrels. Hey, by the sky, I'll see you there faster. I'm Zachary Daniel.
Hey, Team Shark, let's talk about the new dream kitchen that you've always wanted. It's easy to dream, but doing it right, that's when you realize just how many moving parts there are. So many decisions, so many options, and lots of pressure. That is why I am sending you to the kitchen store. It's the one place where, under the guidance of an expert kitchen designer, you'll find every door, drawer, color, finish, hinge, handle, and hardware accessory on the market. That's the kitchen store. Southern California's largest kitchen design showroom, right off the 405 in Culver City. And right now, the kitchen store is having a huge spring sale. Too many items to mention. You just have to get there. Everything from entry level to ultra custom. They will meet or beat any price, including the big boxes. 12 month savings cash financing is happening right now. The big spring sale. Get the help you need to keep your kitchen done right by dialing 310 Kitchen. That's 310 Kitchen, and find them on the web at 310kitchen.com. Okay, at 5 is cloudy, nice upper 60 to decrease upper 50 to mid 70 for LRNOC, low to mid 70 in bound, upper 50 to upper 60 in Antelope Valley, low to mid 70 in the Inland Empire. It's going to warm up over the next 2 days into the 80s, peaking on Monday, but then it's going to cool back down to 60 by the end of the week. Right now it's 47 degrees in Sacramento, 47 in Brea, 51 in Sherman Oaks, and 50 in Pasadena. Local, live from KFI, 24-hour newsroom. I'm Brock Brooks.
That's correct. I got a highlight reel for Leroy Jenkins.
Recording live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Welcome to the home, where every week we help you better understand that place where you live. I am Team Shark, the house whisperer, custom home builder, custom home designer, and your guide from your ordinary house into an extraordinary home. Hey, whether you are listening to the local broadcast right here in Southern California, or streaming us live from across the country, which we're right now at a more sane hour, because it's 6 a.m. here in Southern California. If you're somewhere else in the country, it's a little bit more realistically daytime. Or if you join me for another episode of the House Whisperer on Demand, our podcast, I am so glad that you are here. The gang is all here. Sam is on the board, manning all of the buttons. Oh, there's our live studio audience. Those kids, they are. That's a lot of energy to ask if anybody on Saturday morning truly is. The boss, producer Misty, standing by. He's not there live right now. And he's sitting here live in our office in the morning. Anyway, he's running the show. He's got stories. actually standing by to take your calls. The call board is open, and we are taking calls today. As we always do, we'll be doing that in just a bit. Let me give you right now. 833-2-ASK-2. 833, the number 2, ASK-2. One more time. 833-2-ASK-2. And you know the secret of Saturday morning is that if you're even slightly more awake than your other listening friends, now it's time to jump into the queue to get the call. Anything you want to talk about, I have very specific topics here for us. But when it comes to our calls, anything you want to discuss regarding your home, it is open season on all things home design questions, construction questions, DIY concerns, whatever the case may be. We get to set the agenda. We'll put our heads together and 833-2-ASK-2. Nikki standing by, and the phone lines are open right now. Okay, who else we got here? Brian Malone on the news desk. Good morning, Brian. Good morning. How's it going, my friend? Maybe a nice weather for us up here. Right? It's going to be a gorgeous spring weekend. It has been arguably, I mean, I know the storm, there are people out there who just are going to complain about anything at all. But I, for one, I'm just telling you, I have loved this winter. I've loved the winter. I've loved all the additional rain. And I love the way the spring is now breaking out. And so I'm very content and happy. The hills outside our home out here in eastern Ventura County, it looks like Ireland out there. I mean, it's just green on green on green. And I know I've driven all over Southern California in the last week or so. It's everywhere. It's just everywhere. So no complaints from me. I don't know how I feel about 80-degree weather in early spring, but I know it's pretty good. But warming up a little bit, no problem for the weekend. Sitting across the table from me, there she is.
Here I am.
My better half, the co-founder and co-owner of House Whisperer, and co-designer of House Whisperer, and my best buddy in the world. Very good spirit. So many things have showed up here early on Saturday morning. Now would be an excellent time to just snuggle up to the old RCA there in the and that'd be great if everybody's just kind of the family gathered around the radio, in the living room. Anyway, just pour yourself a warm comfort beverage, a coffee, perhaps we go. And just sit back, keep breathing. The week is over. Listen to the sound of my voice. I'm right here with you. Everything is going to be okay. We have got a planned weekend for you. I just wanted to take advantage of the fact that spring has sprung and talk about the facet of life at home and home improvement that is so critical, you might have. But one that you're not going to hear on some or see on some typical, whatever, home ship. I want to talk about nature, our interaction with nature. It is a massive component of what it means to live. Loaded to death. I have stacked the deck with a studio deck. And yes, even today, how did I get these guys to get here early? That is a mystery that I will not share with our competitors. But the point is that I've got experts in the studio. We're going to be talking about the birds, backyard birds, bringing them back. We're going to be talking about trees. We're going to be talking about bees. We're going to be talking about rodent control and our local mountains, all sorts of stuff. And a few other items along the way. But I've got some great guests in store. And one of them is sitting right there and ready to rock and roll with me. So when we return, I want to talk about backyard birds with a very special in-studio guest. We will do that and more I'm so glad you joined us this morning. There's so much more to come. Your home. You Sharp, the house whisperer, Brian Durham. For the Chinese military, it started a 3-day series of combat readiness patrols, including ships and fighter jets near Taiwan, after Taiwan's president did California this week. The unemployment rate fell to 2.5% in March, according to a Labor Department report. And Supreme Court Justice Terry Thomas says he didn't disclose the trips paid for by a Republican bank owner because he was advised by President College he wouldn't have to. We're going to take a look at some trouble on the 105 next. For emergency backup power, yeah, there's only one name you need to know, period. Duffy Power. Since 1965, hey, that's what it means. Southern California has relied on Duffy for power in the most critical situations. We're talking the big boys, hospitals, high-rise, data centers, school districts, radio stations, like that. Every form of business, big or small, and homes and RVs. Whether it's a new generator that you need for an emergency rental, or if you already have a generator, you need to sign up for Duffy's legendary repair and maintenance services so it is ready to go when you need it. Duffy's got you covered 24/7. If you live or do business in Southern California, you know it's not a question of if the power is going to go down. It's only a question of whether you're going to sit there and let it happen or take control. Taking control means it's time to call Duffy Power. To learn how to protect yourself from the next outage and all the ones after that, go to DuffyPower.com, DuffyPower.com. That's .com. Taking a look at KFI traffic now. We've got a stall on the 105 in Hawthorne. That's the 105 west. The Crenshaw Boulevard stall is blocking the carpool of the arm. The 10 west traffic coming in out now. Handbrake over to Semi has the transit station south shut down immediately. This has been going on since about 8 o'clock last night, and that's why the will be opening up anytime soon. But our T Gemini release the Pioneer Boulevard, that's kind of showing the right lane, to move up to the right shoulder. And it's Fountain Valley on the 4th line south from Brooklyn Street, Albert Avenue in Orange County. The two right lanes are closed for 45 minutes. Tom Train is on the scene doing some concrete pours. As they on the side of the street, they're back there. I'm back to Jacob.
This report is sponsored by Six Auto Collision Center. Don't let a traffic accident ruin your day. Simply.com to find the nearest Six Auto location. Their highly trained and certified technicians will have you back on the road in no time. You have a choice on who fixes your vehicle. Tell your insurance agent that you want to go to Six Auto.
If your business has 5 or more employees and manage to survive COVID, you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. That's real money. Not alone either, for refund of your taxes. The trick is getting this point. Complicated, lots of red tape. So let me suggest going to GetRefunds.com. Their team of tax attorneys are experts in this little known payroll tax refund program, and they've already returned $1 billion to businesses. And it could probably help you too. No charge up front, they are a percentage of the cash that they get for you. And businesses of all types can qualify, including those that could CPP money and nonprofits. Even if you have increases in sales, you can qualify. To find out if your business does qualify, go to GetRefunds.com, click on the Qualify Me button, answer a few questions, they start to work. GetRefunds.com, that's GetRefunds.com. You probably already know that Rosetta Stone is one of the best ways to learn a language. But did you also know that they offer a lifetime subscription to all 25 of their languages? Dabble in French, try your hand at German, learn a bit of Japanese, or even explore Swedish. And right now, you can get 40% off Rosetta Stone's lifetime unlimited subscription. Visit RosettaStone.com today to purchase one and learn for life. Rosetta Stone, how language is learned. Has you been injured in an accident? Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you more. We are America's largest injury law firm, and that means more than 800 lawyers, more offices nationwide, and more than $15 billion recovered for our clients. You deserve more, and we at Morgan & Morgan are ready to fight for more. So quick, downtown law, or visit forthepeople.com right now for an office near you. For official rules and more information about contests on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules.
Good luck with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, for candidates for systemic or phototherapy, novel Skyrizi, risankizumab Reza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clearance in 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Therapeutic allergic to serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infection or lower ability to function may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptom, such as fever, sweat, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clear skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic and psoriasis, and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Insurance companies play hardball, but with Jacoby Myers on your side, you'll level the playing field. With over 50 years of experience, trust Jacoby Myers to protect your rights and get you the compensation you deserve. Call Jacoby Myers, the official law firm of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Hey, it's Dean. Get what you've always wanted from your home. Safe and delicious drinking water from every tap. Our Light Source Whole House Water System removes 99% of chlorine and other contaminants for delicious water and softer skin and hair. No nutrients, no salt. And now on a free credit, own a Light Source system for as low as $75 a month. Call Light Source today. 800-803-2696. 800-803-2696. Or visit Light Source Water. The Tunnel to Power Foundation is building Little Village in Lando Lake, Florida.
Oh, excellent. That was a sweet goal. And also to break the bow, I loved watching you play Ninja Turtles. I love that game. Yeah, I believe the Great Power was playing a Ninja Turtle side scroller.
$11 a month. Tunnel to Power at TCC.org. That's TCC.org.
Pray.com's meditative prayer podcast is the best way to bring God's perfect peace into your life. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fight anxiety, sleep better, and more.
Close your eyes. Ask God to come and fellowship with you. Open yourself to the Holy Spirit. And ask Him to
Listen to meditative prayer on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
you find yourself asking questions about technology? Rich DeMiro here. Join me for Rich on Tech, Saturday at 11. Here's the latest and greatest, or even not so great. Anything from home electronics and phone. Rich on Tech with Rich DeMiro this morning at 11 on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.